Well, welcome everybody to the December 2022 Walton County Board of Executives meeting. I'm Mr. Jake Clark, Superintendent. The following board members are here today. Mr. Drew Diego, our Assistant Superintendent, and Mr. Martin Jones, our Transportation Supervisor. Okay, with this meeting, I'm going to go ahead and do our call to order. Normally Mr. Bruce would do this, but since today he's not here, I'm going to let Mr. Jones open this up. So go ahead and call to order for this meeting, Mr. Jones.
Permission to call to order the meeting?
Granted. It's not how you... Yeah, it's fine. Okay. We're going to go ahead and follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. You can mute your mics and say it, or however you do it. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us remain silent, just to reflect. Thank you. All right, I'm going to hand this to Mr. Drew Diego for the approval of the meeting to commence and the release of meeting notes.
Meeting is commenced.
Okay. All right, I'll open with special announcements. First of all, welcome any new members of Walton County Schools. We are so glad that you've chosen us to, pursue your a future career, or a career that you haven't been in before. Thank you for joining us, and we're so glad that you're going to be a part of this experience. Before I commence with the meeting further, I would like to inform you that later on in the meeting we will be having a chance for each of you guys to speak your part, and that'll be towards the end. You get about 5 to 10 minutes max on that part. Other special announcements. We have already... we have something else I'll be talking about with the district leaders here in just a moment, but it'll be after we go over game progress and such. This is also another time for board member comments. If there's any board member that would like to say anything, starting from the highest up. I've already said my comment, so it goes right down to Mr. Diego.
I did notice that we had a person raise their hand beforehand. We will take all questions at a specific time, but not right now.
Okay.
That's my notes for the meeting so far. Is there anything else I need to add on to?
If anything else you'd like to say? That's about it.
That'll be it.
Okay. Mr. Jones, you got anything you'd like to say?
Not at this moment.
Okay. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and move right along speedily with this meeting. I'm going to go ahead and open up with our game updates, progress, and paperwork, and status updates. This is open to board member comments, so if a board member would like to interject at any point in time, I don't think you can raise your hand because you're speaking already. But
just yell interjection.
But yeah, just interject at any point you need to do, if you'd like to say anything about it. Okay. Game updates. So far we have added in. This was added the end of last month, but it is in full swing and effect now. Walnut Grove High School has been added to the map, and now we are having full school in session routes. Borderlines for the zoning were drawn up last meeting. If there's any objection to the drawing up of those lines, please inform me before the meeting is over. Those drawing lines can be found in the Google Drive under additional info. The way we drew them up seems to be the most efficient and also the most logical. So if there's any other things that need to be taken off or added to, please just inform me. Other game updates. We have added in our Christmas update, which includes all of our holiday decor, and maybe here within the next couple weeks we might decorate a special bus and put it out in front of the lot. So, or even a school of our choosing. So, that's a big news update. Paperwork progress. Nothing really much with the paperwork. Only thing I have to say about paperwork is mainly route sheets. So if you have done your route sheet, if you've noticed with your route sheet anything that needs to be changed, please contact your supervisor that is listed on the route coordination section of it. There is one thing I'd like to state, and I'm going to share this to the video, which will be posted. I'm going to share this to the screen that is on the video. If there is anyone that would like to see this, please view the video later. I cannot share screens in this stage, but I'm basically just going to talk about how your next update here in Walton it goes down for performance-wise. So, performance-wise, we did this last year, and it went extremely well. It showed that how drivers could do their job properly. And yes, I'm aware of new drivers being added to our group, but this still applies to them because we need to see if you are going to be good for the next semester to come. At the end of the semester, towards the end of the semester, which will be our last day of the semester will be December the 20th. So that is also a half day. So anything that needs to be done needs to be submitted by 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This includes getting your bus operation test completed. If you need to work it out where you can be earlier than the scheduled testing dates from the 15th of December to the 20th of December, please inform me, and I'll get that squared away for you. Okay. So I'm going to share this to the screen so people can see, and you guys can see as well. Okay. So our bus operation test for semester 1 will consist of the following. We will be testing you on pre-trips, normal road driving, performing a stop with the correct procedures, traffic procedures, bus ramp expectations, and school performance, like performance at the school. Our rubric is as follows. Possible 10 points for pre-trips out of all of them. Our rubric goes down from outstanding, good, moderate, horrible, and failed. So like I said, full possible points for pre-trips is 10 points. Full possible points for your driving overall is 50 points. For your stop, operation, and procedures, that is 10 points in total that you could receive. Your traffic procedures and railroad crossings, you can receive 20 points for that because it includes 2 crucial parts. And to your driving. And bus ramp and school procedures will also be counted for 10 points in total that you could possibly receive. With that in mind, I'm going to open up the document so you can see that. It will be posted to your Google Classroom on December the 15th. For anyone else that would also like to take a look at it before. Beforehand, you may look at the video like I said. So here's how our rubric is scored. And this would be where you would pause the video if you would need to. Okay. So, with that in mind, status updates. This is one thing, it's a staff-related issue. I know that one of our board of executives has been looking for someone to replace his job. I'm not sure when this will take an effect. This is all up to the discretion of the person. They have already been offered the job and have gladly and humbly accepted the position. However, they don't know when they're coming back yet. If I get an updated thing about that, the entire community will be notified. But I am proud to announce that Mr. Kalon Franklin, some of you guys know him as KK, will be joining us as our transportation supervisor. Now, with this in mind, the transportation supervisor will be a shared role. Okay? However, Mr. Kalon Franklin will be leading the role while Mr. Martin Jones will be right under him due to some scheduling issues and activity issues. Mr. Jones says that he would like to stay on board with us. However, he's not going to be as active and still wants a part of the community. Mr. Jones, if you have any objections, now is the time to speak it before I get the document together and signed up for Mr. Franklin.
That's about it.
Okay, so you're fine sharing the role with him, you just being right below him?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not able to be active right now, or not as active as a transportation supervisor should be, so.
Okay. Alright. So what that's going to go into effect. Mr. Kalon Franklin will be starting with us probably second semester, I would say, or maybe the end of first semester. I'm not too positive. We are nearing the end of the first semester. With that also in mind, any drivers that need to complete any missing assignments, please inform me, and we'll get that squared away for you. If you're just being added to the roster, don't worry about any assignments that were posted before. You will be excused from all of them, if not receiving 100s on them. So don't worry about that. New development updates that may come to the game. Maybe some more houses added in Walnut Grove in more of a country setting. This will include having a barn and some sort of a farm area, and also some dirt road areas where some small country houses are at. Buses will be sent to do a select number of houses in that area, just like how our route sheets are set up. Seeing as this is in Walnut Grove, the buses who do those routes will be zoned for District 2, and District 2 base will be where their bus will spawn at, or where their bus will be at. District 2 is fully equipped minus the shop, the bus shop. So before any bus is switched over to District 2, we need to make sure it is in working condition. If there were to be an issue happening during a route or happening just in general, VMD would come over and fix the issue at District 2 to save on fuel efficiency. They would take one of their VMD vehicles over to fix the bus. A spare bus would be given to the driver if their bus was being worked on during the route. Which is why also we'll be putting spare buses over in District 2. If I have any objections by the board members to this topic.
Negative.
Mr. Jones?
Not at this moment.
Okay. Alright, I'd also like to say our website has been taken off pretty well too. We have our website full up and running. If you'd like the link to our website, please contact me after this meeting is over, and we will get you that link and you can check it out. It's not a full paid for website. We're using a free template website right now. It will be updated shortly. Alright, so with that in mind, I don't have anything else. Oh, wait, no, yeah, I do. Do I have any board members that are opposed to the development poll that was posted by Mr. Brutrich earlier today about our city hall, our community center being added in? I would also like the community to vote on this. I'm just doing this from a standpoint of executives answering it. Okay, I'll take that as a no. There's no objections. Okay. While I'm on that, this is going to be a little bit different than how I normally run it. I'm going to be holding off for Mr. Diego's part for just a moment until he gives me the go-ahead and that he's ready. So I'm going to jump to Mr. Jones's part of the meeting. Any messages you'd like to say to the community, Mr. Jones, and also for your route coordinators and any driver safety issues that you may have noticed today or that you may have picked up on that need to be addressed, seeing as you are in charge of our transportation department, technically.
I didn't really see much today. It's just, yeah. So I'd say y'all are good. That's really it.
Okay, any message to possibly your successor for your position?
Good luck. Stay active, please. Yeah, and congrats.
Okay. Since we don't have Mr. Brutrich here to do his part, I'm going to go ahead and speak on behalf of the Vehicle Maintenance Department. And Mr. Diego may add to this if he'd like. Vehicle Maintenance Department, as of right now, they have lost a couple of employees where they're still in search of employees. So if you're interested in becoming a mechanic, please fill out the application for mechanic and talk to Mr. Tony Brutrich. He is in charge of VMD overall, and he'll hire you and get you trained so you can be a mechanic and help us out with that issue right there. So, if you're interested in that, please just fill out the application and let us know.
I'm back, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Got it.
So vehicle maintenance, any other issues? If you're having an issue with your bus, this is a special message from the Vehicle Maintenance Department that I'm sure Mr. Brutrich would stress while he was here. Please, if your bus is having an issue, report it to your supervisor. If there is a base 5 available, a mechanic available, report it to the bus shop and fill out a repair form. The repair form is found in important links. Please fill it out with the issue pertaining to your bus. It'll get fixed. And you'll get your bus back whenever the mechanics have fixed your bus completely. Pre-trip inspection forms. Vehicle Maintenance Department also wants to stress on this, I'm pretty sure. Please fill out your pre-trip forms because it lets us know, lets the supervisors and the mechanics know if your bus is functioning properly, if it is due for an oil change or anything to be done to the bus, any service to be done to the bus. And it's just a safety precaution overall. So make sure you're doing that so we can ensure that all your students are safe, as well as prove your performance that you're doing a part of your job. So, with that in mind, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Drew Diego for any messages that he has for the community.
Alrighty, thank you, Mr. J. Clark. So, a few messages that I have for my side and for the side of Walton County. So we already discussed about transportation. I am going to be thinking about talking with Mr. Brutrich about getting a new form up for vehicle maintenance, and how to get it into the system due to more people or more buses going down for maintenance and whatnot. Me and Jake have both been talking as well behind Walton County lines, and I feel like it's now a good time to bring it out as we have before. Due to how big the lot has gotten, how many buses we do have that are still vacant. Jake and I have both talked and it's still yet to come to a conclusion yet on if we should start removing some of the buses, such as remove. Say we have 20 T3 REs, remove 10 of them, have 10 buses, and then 2 different buses. Reason for this, as we are still not complete with what we do want inside of Walton County, let alone we also have a lot of the other things coming too. We have been in contact with other bus making groups, let alone I already have a whole bunch of models paid for that we might be including into Walton County. Those will not be discussed in this meeting. but they might be added on later on. Another thing too, Walton County 3 and 4. We have discussed this in a previous meeting, several months ago, about us getting a couple new Walton County tried vehicles. This being said, not vehicles, buses. This being said, due to the brand new middle school being open, or the brand new high school, and about to be in full swing of next semester, we do need to get ourselves, or we actually have the funding to get ourselves these new buses. That being said, we will have a vote, and we will also be discussing as BOD, or Board of Directors, about what buses we should have for Walton County 3 and 4. This being said, Walton County 1 has been outdated for ever since Walton County 2 has come into play. Me saying this, I mean the black interior with the blue lights going across it, let alone the modern radio system and all the other quirks and features that Walton County 2 has that Walton County 1 does not have. We are bringing that bus in for its annual inspection here pretty soon, so we will get that added onto its to-do list. So Walton County 1 and 2 should look similar, if not the same. Walton County 3 and 4, on the other hand, will be two different buses apart from Bluebird Visions. As a development standpoint, nothing I could really say as of now, apart from just vehicles. Another transportation thing for maintenance and city workers. We are on the lookout we are going to be fixing our vehicle fleet for the maintenance and city vehicles. This being said, I mean, the van will be replaced with something different due to the chassis, due to the suspension giving out. We will be replacing that. The trucks will be going in for an inspection to finally get those fixed, so it's not too so if you drive over 40 miles per hour, it will not swerve off to the right or left of the vehicle. We will also be seeing about a couple new cars, probably older retired police cars from a government auction brought in due to us not needing a truck every single time just to get from from District 1 to a District 2. Jake and I have been discussing as well about District 2, the other lot that has been open for quite a bit but just has never been used, on how to get people to and from there. We were thinking of just having people spawn in over there. We also did have a thought of just having people right into a van, but with our current script of spawning buses, all you have to do is spawn in and it'll spawn you right next to the bus. So it hasn't really been a problem. But getting back to District 1, that will be a different situation. What I have been thinking was we add another little parking lot that is not occupied by any buses, and if you're at District 2, just drive your bus if we ever have to bring you over in. That's it for my part. I really don't have much else to say. If my cat could please get off my lap, that'll be even better. There you go. Jake, you have the floor.
Okay. Very good topics to speak on, Mr. Diego. This will be deliberated on. As of right now, those are very good ideas. Due to the factor of District 2 being on the other side of the map, we probably will move the buses over to District 2, the ones that are assigned for District 2 schools. The ones that are mixed between District 2 and 1 schools, depending on where your route is or where your route ends for the school, will determine if you're moved over to District 1 or District 2 base. For instance, if you end a route with Walker Park Elementary School and you're closer to District 1, well, you'll be spawning in at District 1. If you end a route for Walker Park Elementary School that is closer to District 2 base, you'll be spawning in at District 2 base. This is a efficiency standpoint and also a realistic standpoint. If you're having a route that is going to put you closer to the base that you're going to be at, you should probably park at that base when you're done with that route.
I'd like to interject real quick.
Mm-hmm.
On that topic, I feel like how we should have this being are dealt with is have a if you start out in the morning, you drive like you start out in District 1 area and end off in District 2, you'll go to District 2. Whenever we begin District 2 or the PMs, you'll start in District 2 and then go back down to District 1. So basically your bus will stay at whatever district it starts at, wherever it starts at, and then whenever you end it for the first route, you'll just go back to, or you'll go to whatever district you're in. Whenever you start, you'll go to whatever district you're in. Do I sound clear on that?
Yep.
All right. At this time, I do have to go. I have something coming up.
Okay. Make sure you watch the rest of the meeting from 2546, please.
Will do. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. With that in mind, I really don't have anything else to talk about. I thought I saw one of our board members peep in here for a minute, so hang on one second. So with that in mind, and all these things in mind, I am going to open this up for member questions, comments, concerns, anything that you would like to talk about. If you're wanting to speak on anything, please put the raise a hand thing, and we will accept your request. Please remember you have, due to us having more people, depending on how many people request, your time limit may be shortened by a minute or two. So now is your time for any questions, comments, or concerns. So put your request to speak in. I'm going to wait to see if anyone else... and by the way, you can put your request to speak in before you'd like to say anything. Before you'd like to do anything else. Okay, I see one person raising their hand. I'm going to go ahead and allow them to speak. Okay, welcome. You are allowed to talk on any topic. Please be aware that we can interrupt you at any time and stop you from speaking at any time. Your time will begin now, and you have 8 minutes. So any comments you'd like to say? You have full time for right now. You can go. Can you not talk, or is it just not letting you talk? Okay. Well, let me do this real quick. Try it now.
All right. So, okay, there we go. All right. So
I'll restart. I'll restart your time. Okay.
Okay.
8 minutes.
But yeah, my question was on fast passes. Then like making the game like for everyone, aka like enabling either tablet and mobile or just mobile, if you could.
Okay. There are a few conflicting issues with this.
Like you have controller to drive the bus though.
Yes. I'm aware of how Xbox and other things like mobile and tablet and phone are able to do that. However, they're not able to do certain things. The only reason I would be in opposition of this is because of not really efficiency issue, but if I were to have you get out of the bus real quick, or if I'd have to have you switch buses and spawn them in. Now, the spawning part is probably going to be one of the hardest things because of our spawner being at the bottom and you have to hover over it. That might be the hardest part in switching from mobile. Not to mention, I'm not sure if some of our stuff is compatible with mobile devices or even console. Thus being said, why it is limited to PC. Now, if there are other newfound facts that can help with that, I would be glad to switch over with the board's approval.
Okay, it fast passes.
Say that again?
Fast passes.
Fast passes?
Like, if you're a bus driver in another group, you could like get bus driver here.
Oh, not absolutely, but not really. We need to make sure, even though you're proven to be another driver in another community, just because you're another driver in another community does not mean that we know that. If we haven't seen that activity in another group, the group that you're specifying, personally, we cannot let you do that. Now, just to be safe on our part and your part, we need to make sure that you're trained and that you got your CDL, everything, and that all procedures are set up with you. Now, our procedures are way different probably from other communities' procedures, meaning you'd have to adapt to them as well. So there are some conflicting issues with that, but also we just need to make sure that you're able to do it yourself, okay, so we can prove it and see from our training program where you stand.
Okay.
You have any other questions? Any concerns, comments, or anything?
Besides like, if there could be a rank called
a rank called what?
Server mod.
Server mod.
Yeah, it's like, say like for instance, if all boards were offline, like all board members was offline, it was like late at night, like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, and nobody's online, and if someone was to join the group, to join the server and start spamming stuff, they will be able to take care of it.
Yeah, we have this was a possibility spoken by the other board members at the at a meeting past. We're thinking about adding a team called the moderation team. So, and this team will be in charge of looking over complaint forms, report issues, any community-related issues. If there would be someone asking questions or anything, they'd be responsible for that as well. As far as the late night thing for the spamming has been disabled by our bot. Our bot has our auto mod, so if you spam things out of everything, it's going to auto mod and it's going to take everything away. You're going to get a warning. It's going to delete all the messages that are spam, and it'll do that. So auto mod has been enabled for that. It can be disabled at any time. However, we need to have the staff for a moderation team before we can do so.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nothing besides I'll send you a DM about something after the meeting.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna move you back to the audience. There you go. All right. Next up is Mr. Griffin Stone.
Well, okay.
All right. One moment. Let me set your time. You have 8 minutes now.
Okay. To comment on Realist's thing for the Xbox thing, I'm pretty sure the Ford F-150 is able to be driven on Xbox.
Okay. Do you happen to know if any of the keybinds for anything else works?
So I don't know what is that system? Okay. Even though I'm talking about a different group. Blue Coast, you remember our old system
Mm-hmm.
with like how it had the controls button at the bottom?
Yes.
If I can check and see if the F-150 does or trucks do that, but if they do that, it's practically just basically like driving a car in GTA almost. RT for accelerate, LT for brake.
Okay, do you happen to know if the keybinds, if you were to be able to check and see if the keybinds would work for, like, you know, if they want to drive a bus for the community, you'll check that for me on Gen X and Huxley?
So I don't think the buses are going to be able to be driven on Xbox as of right now because there's not enough like buttons you can set for controls because of how how the controllers are configured.
This is also another reason why we have blocked that, because in an allied community we turned off for the Xbox because we knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And also it conflicts with the issues like with the keybinds. So yes. Anything else about mobile Xbox, anything like that?
No, but I can look to see if Xbox is able to be driven.
Okay.
Just kind of based off of how because it'll tell you if the car can be driven by a Xbox controller or not. So if you want me to, I can check all the cars, because if that is the case, we might be able to have people as mechanics if they join off of Xbox. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry about that. I was looking over some stuff.
Hold on,
Okay.
I'm looking at them right now.
So, yeah. Just, I'm gonna let you have your time here.
I'll mute for a second.
Okay. I'll let him have his time. You want me to count this to your time, or you want me to pause it and you come back up after you're done?
So you are able to drive the service truck, the 223 bus, or on the spare buses.
Okay. I did get some intel we might be able to use them, but they're difficult on the keybinds.
So the silver, so the, hold on, what is 223? 223, I think that's a F350. The F350 you're able to. Silverado, I do not know.
Okay.
But the F350, yeah, you can definitely drive that off of Xbox and use the lights and horns.
Okay. You have any other?
Or honestly, if you wanted to, if they do have Xbox and they hook up a keyboard, they can drive the buses.
Okay. Thank you for that. I was actually going to talk to my team about that as well. I'm going to get together with my staff team and confer with them about that, because there are some issues with allowing Xbox as well, with like for game decor and stuff, and game game things that are in the game. So there are some issues with that. I'd have to talk over with the staff, because I don't just make a sole decision. Is there anything else you'd like to comment on? With you have 3 minutes remaining.
No. Besides, all I know of right now is the F350 and Express that you're able to drive.
All right.
That's it. So.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right. Next up is Mr. Aiden Rogers for any comments, questions, concerns. Okay,
Hi.
Mr. Rogers, you have 8 minutes starting now.
Gotcha. So, I have a question. If that, like, what is it, the moderation team does come into effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will they be, like, considered members of, like, staff or like
They're technically staff, but they're not board of executives. So the moderation team would not be considered a board of executives team whatsoever, because then we would have, depending on
multiple.
we'd have multiple people. We'd have a lot of people in here. The board of executives team is probably in total going to consist of 5 or 6 people, due to a
Okay.
majority problem, and also to have some leadership in the community to decide on what we're doing. The moderation team will mainly just be for paperwork concerns. So like repair forms. There were repair forms filled out. They could let the mechanics know, as well as the bus drivers. The bus drivers could let a mechanic know. The moderation team could let them know as well about that. I'm glad that this moderation team issue was brought up to me, because I was going to speak on it earlier. But I just it just slipped my mind. But they would also be in charge of complaint forms, bus transfer forms, asset release forms. They would be in charge of also making sure the community is in upright state, as well as staff, because staff is also here for that type of issue.
So like in a route, right? Would they be like considered a supervisor or just like
They would not be considered a supervisor, and if they were a moderation team and also a driver, they would be considered just a driver. So what they'd be considered in the game would be just like maybe they would probably be put under the route coordination team for safe measures, or we might create a separate team for the moderation team itself. So that's what would go on with that. They would just be considered, if they didn't apply, they would be considered
Okay, I got you.
just like a guest almost.
Okay. So the only thing that really would like play a role in was just like doing complaints and stuff like that. Nothing else.
Yes,
like,
they would
was-
do that, and they would, if the auto mod were to not work, they would be able to warn people for what they for any violations of rules or anything. So if they were in VC, instead of staff having to do it, if staff didn't beat the moderation team to it, or if moderation team beat staff to doing it, they would warn you for the rule that was broken. And our policy here is the 5 warnings, and then you get a strike, and then 5 warnings per strike.
Okay. Also, one thing, can you check my mod logs from Gear Probot?
Your audit logs?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think I've been warned twice. First.
You have 4 warnings.
Alright, so those Discord moderations count towards like the strikes, right? Or is that just like
Yes, Discord moderations count towards strikes, as well as if any verbal warning is recorded, they would. Verbal warnings are actually just like a step below putting the actual warning in. So if you were given a verbal warning, you would just be simply talked to about it, told to stop doing it, and then if it persisted, you would receive a system warning, which would go to your strike system.
assuming all those
And also, per semester or per school year, everyone's warnings gets cleared. So
Okay.
per school year is how it happens, and you have to get 2 or 3 strikes before any disciplinary action happens. Now, your first strike will more than likely be like maybe a suspension for a week or something. We have it all set up in a document.
Alright, I got it. That's all I have to say.
Okay. I'll move
Yeah,
you down.
you should also go to the blue pill, so that's just if it happens.
Well, this is also on recording, so you just said that.
Whatever, yeah.
Alright, move back to the audience.
Okay.
Alright. So, thank you guys for coming out to the Walton County Board of Executives meeting. This will be closing our meeting. Final statements for y'all. Just continue to stay out there and do this. Make sure you do what you have to do for this community. Make sure you do your assignments in the Google Classroom to show your performance as a driver, that you know what you're doing as for your job, and also so we can make sure that you're doing your safety precautions before you go on a route. Okay, with that being said, thank you for attending the Walton County Schools Board of Executives meeting for December 2022. I'm Mr. Jake Clark. The rest of the Board of Executives have left, unfortunately. but the ones that were here were Mr. Drew Diego, Mr. Martin Jones, and that's about it. Our other Board of Executive member was Mr. Tony Brutrich, in charge of the Vehicle Maintenance Department. Also, our councilman for the, or our chairman for the Board of Executives. If you have any questions about anything that was talked about in this meeting, any suggestions, please leave your suggestions in the channel suggestions. Any questions or concerns for me, please ping me in the chat or come to my DMs. Also, make sure, before you come just to me, use our chain of command. That's all I have for y'all. And I hope to see y'all next week at Rouse. Have a good one.